Good evening, friends, and welcome to the Penultimate Woodshop. This is a video tour, circa summer 2008. This tour was recently found on a file on my computer. It was taken 2 phones ago in very poor quality and shows the initial state of disarray and mass storage that my shop first took on when we purchased the house. As we walk into the shop, you'll see on the right-hand side are some toolboxes that fit into that rack. That's where I keep my screwdrivers, Torx drivers, Starhead drivers. There is an old stereo that's still sitting there, but I don't often use. I do still use the screwdriver boxes, but they're in a different location. There's my current planer, which is in a new location, but was just stored there. You can see it's not usable. My old Bosch 4000 table saw, great benchtop saw. If you're in the market for a benchtop saw, I've since replaced it, but not because it wasn't a great saw. Here's an old spinny fastener thingy from an old-time lumberyard type place. I've still got it on the attic because I can't seem to part with it, but it's useless in terms of a woodworking shop. Here's my old DeWalt 12-inch sliding compound miter saw, a fantastic tool that was just too big for the shop. My benchtop drill press, which is currently in the attic. That is shelf unit number 1, filled with different tools and tool boxes and storage containers. That's one of the little storage containers. Here is shelf unit number 2, and up against its back is shelf unit number 3. There's a shirt I plan to use on a hosing compound. The bucket, a garbage pail that serves as my clamp storage. We're moving along now. That's shelf unit number 3 with more toolboxes. Most of that stuff has been put up in the attic. Shelf units 4 and 5. I had tons and tons of shelves in the shop. I'm presently down to 1. You see all sorts of fasteners and I'm trying to see, what do we have in there? Those are boxes of something. Oh, there's my little Senko compressor. Fantastic compressor. It's been moved up into the attic because I realize I don't use a compressor much at all for woodworking, but it's just a good compressor to have around the house. There's a fold-up work table that is up in the attic. That's the jigsaw. I had just bought at the time. It's in the attic, never been used. I'm not a jigsaw guy. That's a Craftsman 3-table space-saving table thing that I picked up off Craigslist. I found that I didn't use it either, so I took it to work where it got run over by our skid steer, and it's now dented and mauled and doesn't work and just needs to be thrown out. An old rigid air filter. That's piles of white cedar perfections. I was in the middle of a siding project. Clamp rack a couple years ago. It has basically tripled in size since then, thanks to my Jet and Jurgensen acquisitions. You'll see it's all Bessie at that point. The wall behind it is taken apart. There's my Monster Porta-Cable compressor, good for driving framing guns. I like it. My Veritas powered sharpening system, more storage containers. I don't know why I bought all those storage containers. They were cheap and on sale, but they sit up in the attic, still wrapped in plastic. Anyway, I'm not sure what was in that box. That's my bench that I'm still using as a bench right now, though I do plan to replace it very soon with my clockwork bench. Those are some shop alterations I made to the bench to stiffen it up, add some weight. That's MDF. I gave it some leveling feet because the floor is not level, so I tweaked the bench. It is serviceable, but that's being a little liberal with it. It's still a crappy bench. That's my plywood storage at the point. There's some ice and water shield for the strap work. More cedar perfections. Luckily, all this cedar has been installed by now. And my rigid bandsaw. The bandsaw spent a couple years in storage in a shed behind my dad's house on a canal. Considering it's not very rusty, but the wheels don't track and the blade's off, and it needs some tune-up. So that was the shop. I thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you in your shop. Go occupy the shop.